Welcome to my brand new project here on YouTube. My name is DJ Switch, and for the last couple of years, I have been trying to create different kinds of media. I originally started this YouTube channel as a tech channel, and for folks, the few of you that are looking for Switchbox Tech, I assure you, don't worry. I'm going to continue to create tech videos here on the channel, but I wanted to rebrand a little bit and start working on a brand new project, something that I've been sort of playing around with while I've been streaming 3 nights a week on Twitch, basically since the COVID-19 pandemic started happening in late March. And as a result of some of the tinkering and playing around that I've been doing on Twitch, I got the idea of doing some music reaction videos. And I thought about it and I thought, well, these reaction videos are crazy. How are people interested in this? It's just people watching videos. And then I started to find reaction videos by professional singing coaches and professional musicians. And I thought, well, I've been a professional DJ for 20 years. And I was a musician before that. I studied all the way up through college. Hell, I paid for my first year of college with my saxophone. So I have quite a bit of training and I have quite a bit of experience. And I thought, well, wait a minute. If I can react and critique these videos, then maybe I can bring a little bit more substance than someone who maybe would just watch the video and then count on the views. And so that's what I'd like to do today in my very first reaction video ever. Now, the song that I had chosen for you is actually one that keeps popping up in my YouTube autoplay, and I have no idea where it came from or how it got popular, but let me tell you a little bit about these two gentlemen, FKJ, and I think it's pronounced Masego. And I apologize if I'm butchering that pronunciation, but this song has generated 210,605,259 views and counting. And the channel is up to 1.41 million subscribers. That is no small feat. That's incredibly impressive, especially for a couple of guys who, as far as I can tell, they've never had a big international hit before. But I don't know what clicked. Something clicked, and this song just will not leave me alone. I can't escape it. It's everywhere on the internet. At least it's everywhere on YouTube. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to I'm gonna throw it up right here, just above my other desk. There we go. And I think we'll just watch it together. And I might take a couple of breaks here and there, just to comment a bit as we go. This is a song called Tadow. Okay, right away they're already using what's called a loop station or a looping device. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit jealous. I really want to get a loop station. There's a company called Boss that's really well known for making guitar pedals, but they actually make one that's for use on the tabletop called the RC505, and it's got a little brother called the RC202 that's just like a 2-channel version, but the big boy is the 5-channel RC505 loop station. And I see a lot of beatboxers use them, and I've had so many ideas for years about how I could utilize a tool like that. Unfortunately, you know, just every time it comes up, it sort of gets bumped down in the priority list. One of these days, though, I will get my hands on a loop station and be able to create something a tenth as interesting as this video. Love that low end. And the mics are live. You can hear them chatting, kind of talking to each other. Feels like a real stage. There it is. That device, I don't know if you can see it. Well, my finger can't. So there's a device behind the keyboard that has a series of buttons. That's an RC505. I'll bet they're using a few of them to be able to create what they're creating in this studio space. But what I really love about those live mics, and the reason why I called that out, is because I play actually in a hip hop group. Shout out to my MC Mighty and the Mighty Nation. I'm the DJ for the Mighty Nation, and we've opened for a bunch of touring acts and played a lot of stages. And the biggest, most key component to a live performance like that is you got to be able to communicate. Hand signals, looks, gestures, shouting at each other. It all sort of gets lost in the energy of the performance, but being able to perform with a group of people is very, very dependent on being able to communicate with those people on stage. So I love hearing the chatter on the live mic, because that tells me that these guys are working this out, and they're taking it dead serious. Grew up playing the saxophone. I'm a sucker for the saxophone. Band geeks, where are my band geeks at? Leave a comment for me. Expression he's getting out of that M50. If you guys aren't familiar, the Korg M50 is one of the truly iconic keyboards, and the level of expression that he's getting with just the little bends, the wow, that little scoop makes all the difference. We haven't even got to the lyrics yet, y'all. We're a minute 25 in. The lyrics haven't even started yet, and I'm already I'm completely blown away. The music nerd in me is just in heaven right now. You got the saxophone necklace on too. Here we go. I miss playing the saxophone. I'm gonna start bringing one on stage with me. You know, when everything opens back up. Okay, that thing, it's in the bottom, so it's kind of not the bottom right of the screen, but just above that. It's there, right there, that thing with the glowy buttons. That is a controller that's running the software that's, I'm guessing, probably managing a lot of the loops. So what the RC505 that I mentioned can do with just hardware, where it just, you can record little loops of music and then sort of loop them back over themselves to sort of build layers of music on top of each other for 4 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, like whatever you program into it. You can do that with the hardware on the RC505. That thing can do way more, but you have to hook it up to a laptop. It's not just a standalone device. It's actually a controller for a really, I imagine, relatively complicated piece of software. It figures the DJ would be the gadget nerd, right? He's having so much fun right now.
Oh, I saw her and she hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. She just hit my heart. Oh, full force and she got me like that. I be like, baby, why you so fine? Gotta make you mine. So hard to find. Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, and she ain't even show nothing. She be walking around so confident, so heaven sent. I think she was meant to knock them daylight. Like, girl, you so fine. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Girl, you rockin' like, baby, so fine. Miss Baby, girl, you knock 'em dead.
All right, just a quick note on his singing, because like it's like, I'm sitting here as I'm listening to this and I'm watching this, right? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how many instruments that we've got? Keyboards, we've got guitar, we got bass. I honestly, I'm gonna count the looping as another instrument, because it kind of is. It's like it's a sort of part instrument, part production technique, right? But you have to really know what you're doing with those loops to be able to use them effectively. So looping, guitar, bass, keyboards, saxophone, drums, and now this nice gentleman with the sunglasses is singing. It's just the two of them, which tells me a couple of things. One, these guys have been studying music and music performance for a very long time. When I was in college as a saxophone player, one of the first things they did was actually sign me up for a keyboarding class, and so I started learning a little bit of piano. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a terrible piano player. No, really, I'm terrible at it. But that was part of the program, was I had to learn keyboarding and how to play the piano a little bit for the sake of composition, because composition, when you're writing music, a lot of like formal music writing is built around the structure of a keyboard. And so the idea of building chords, working with voicing, open chords versus closed chords, which if you're not familiar with those terms, like that's probably something I'll bring up again in a future video. All of this tells me that these guys have been studying performance and instrumentation for a long time. Saxophone is not easy to just pick up. Like, they weren't doing a lot as saxophone players. There wasn't a lot going on there, but the tone was fantastic, and it was clear to me that this was not their first day picking up a saxophone. Same thing with the keyboard, same thing with guitar, same thing with the vocals. And so it's obvious to me that these guys are very on top of their game when it comes to being able to study and learn an instrument competently enough to be able to perform it, at least for the needs that they have. All that being said, this is not the greatest singing I've ever heard. And I don't think anybody would say that it is. But what we can say very clearly, if you've got working ears, is that he's got a great tone, and the way that he approaches the vocalization is clever and interesting, at least to me. It really reinforces the idea that you don't have to be an amazing, accomplished, incredible talent of a performer to be able to make interesting music. And so the folks out there that are just like waiting, until they've got 20 years under their belt, or waiting until they're, they can hit that perfect note, or they can do that perfect thing. Don't wait. Just do it. Just start doing it and start sucking at it until you don't suck anymore. And this video is a perfect example of what happens when you, maybe aren't the best at any one thing, but you're good enough at a lot of things that you can do something cool. Because this, never mind the 210 million, almost 211 million views. Forget that. As a 22-year veteran of the music industry, like, I'm here to tell you, this is like really cool. All right, let's keep going. Hit him with that keyboard.
She was so sublime, super fine. She was never lying, strutting in the heels or her slides. Either way, eyes on her every single day, week, year. Everyone wondering how she does it with no fear. All that confidence, was it heaven sent? Does it come within?
There's the drums,
does it come
the bass.
out? I don't know. She'll just
all
have them running out and
all
in.
coming back together.
They want to sin, talking deadly sin with Mrs.
So
Lady. I don't understand why she hit him like.
He loves that sample.
Girl, you knock him dead. How you do the thing you do? Baby, you knock him dead. I'm already saying.
Gotta get that one more in. Yeah, man. Yes. Oh. Okay. All right, fellas. Nicely done. Listen, there's just not a whole lot else to say about that. That was Tadow, and it was impressive. For just a number of reasons. Like I said, you don't have to be an amazing, virtuoso of an instrument to be able to make interesting music. You just have to commit and try and just stick with it and keep going. And if you're not happy with it, change it, do something different. Expression is really, like, all art, and especially music, but all art is about expression. And if you can express yourself, effectively in a way that communicates exactly what you're trying to communicate, then it doesn't matter if you're the best singer. It doesn't matter if you're the best saxophone player. It doesn't matter if you're the best keyboard player or the best drummer. You can create something fantastic, and then get apparently 210 million views on YouTube. So, congratulations, fellas, on just a truly fantastic piece of work. I'm so glad that somebody had a camera rolling in there and was shooting that whole thing on video so that we could kind of see the process. I love seeing the equipment. I love the refrigerator in the corner with the drinks. I mean, I'm still working on my studio space, but one of the last things on my to-do list, but a thing that is for sure on my to-do list, is to get a mini fridge in here, because you got to have those drinks when you're putting in the long hours. So, hats off, fellas. Nicely done. Listen, thank you very much for hanging out and watching my very first react/critique video here on YouTube. I'm going to be doing many more of these. My hope is to work my way up to one a day here on YouTube. And then I also am hoping eventually to get to one a day on Patreon. And so if you get a chance, please check me out on Patreon, as well as Facebook and Instagram. All of those are whateverwebsite.com/DJSwitchPDX. You'll be able to find me. And I really appreciate your time today. I'll see y'all on the next one.